What's going on, guys? Now that the 31's ready, it's time to show the daily some love. As you all know, the diff in my Falcon has been noisy for a very long time, so it's time to definitely change that out before I do a fair bit more towing, doing a bit more driving in the 31. So, first point of call, I've got this big white beast up into the shed now, so I'm going to have to jack it up and pull the diff out of it. So I'm just going to straight swap the diff out of the white one into the silver one at this point, just because it's the easiest way to get out of this. Then the silver one also needs a service. It's like 5,000 Ks overdue for a service. So yeah, I've got some fresh diff oil and some Newlon smooth shift to chuck in the diff. So hopefully this Falcon's got 220,000 Ks on it and no tow bar. It doesn't look like it's ever had a tow bar on it, so I don't think this car's ever towed. So this diff should be awesome. So hopefully it's A1 diff. I'll whack it in with some fresh oil and some smooth shift, and hopefully it does me well for the rest of the life of my Falcon. And yeah, hopefully she tows like a dream, as it always does. So anyway, I'm gonna get to work on that. Just gonna jack this up, put it on stands, and just rip the diff out. Righto, so I got this on jack stands. I'm gonna start pulling the diff out. Pretty much just drop the tail shaft, pull the brake cables off the calipers, pull the handbrake cables off the calipers, drop the front hangers, drop the shocks, drop the rear hangers, pull the whole diff out. So Dad's doing main Falcon over there on the hoist. Then we'll just do some work on this one, change the oils and stuff, and then hopefully just swap them over. And hopefully everything goes swimmingly. So here you go, guys. There's two diffs removed. What a absolutely mammoth job that actually was. So now I've got the joy of still got more work to do. Still got to swap all the stuff over, and then I've still got to put them both back in. So that's fun. So this diff out of the silver one has like all good Pettis springs, good bushes, seems to be better conditioned discs. So I've pretty much decided I'm just going to swap everything onto that diff. So complete springs with hangers and everything, and then calipers and discs I'll swap onto this diff. Bit of extra work, but I mean, obviously with this much work going into it, I'd rather just do it now while it's all out. So once I get this diff off the springs, then I'll look at draining the oil, and then I can refill it with the smooth shift, and yeah, put it all back together, put it all back in. Oh, the fun. Oh, the fun. Anyway, hopefully after this big silver rigs, it's also, yeah, I don't know if I said earlier in this video, but it's like 5,000 Ks overdue for a service, so it's going to get a service today as well. And after that, hopefully the old silver rig should be pretty much ready to tow for the rest of the year. Got a lot of events coming up, a lot of exciting stuff happening, so need it tow ready. What a sight though, just look at these two beautiful machines next to each other. Look at that. Diff setup. So anyway, I've stripped this one down out of the white one. One of the handbrake shoe on this side was obviously installed incorrectly. It was all sorts of arse about face. So it's going to come off because it's been worn unevenly because of the way it was installed. So I'm going to have to hope that the handbrake shoes on that one are pretty good because it's going on this side. So what I've done is really clean up all inside all there with brake clean, as you can see on the ground there. Because when I pulled the ABS sensors out of the back of those discs, they were covered in crap. So yeah, gave them a good clean. You know, brake clean's perfect for cleaning brake stuff. So I decided not to. I found out that these Borg Warners are actually a bit different to the Skyline diffs, and you can actually just drain them from the bottom bolt hole. So gonna do that when it's in the car. So I haven't done anything about oils yet, because I'm gonna do that when it's in the car. So just set them up on stands here, put this on the pallet jack so we can easily jack it up, move it around and stuff. So now it's just time to rip all of the springs and everything off my old diff, put them on this diff, get it ready to go in. Alright, so I've got this diff pretty much ready to go into the silver one. Just used the best pads out of all 8. Had to use obviously the handbrake shoe on this side, so that's going to need adjusting once it's all in there, but this diff's ready to go in. And I've just got this diff over here about to go on stands, ready to be put back together to go back in the white one, which is all good fun. But I just wanted to show you guys, see how that's not actually on stands. I was just on my own to move this over here, and I found that that is the perfect pot to have a Ford Falcon or Ute Borg Warner 78 diff completely balanced on the jack. Yeah, it was actually ridiculous how good that was balanced right there at that jack point. Obviously that is with no springs or anything on it. But I don't know, I was just so stoked that that balanced so well, so I just wanted to show you guys. Anyway, this has been already a massive prick of a job, and there's still a fair bit to do, and I'm not loving it. My body is not loving all this being on the ground business. It is not much fun. Righto guys, we have one new diff installed. Check it out. So just draining the oil, as you can see down here. The oil that was in it was pretty dark. How you going? Pretty gross, pretty grotty. Also the breather was snapped off about there and was very blocked as well. Now it's important to make sure that your breather is not blocked, because if your diff can't breathe, when it heats up, it'll push all your oil out the seals, and you'll get leaks in your diff, and it'll push it out the bearings and all sorts of stuff you don't want. So yeah, it's important to make sure your breather's all nice and clear. And I put that back on there so that it goes back to the old breather position, and it's pretty in blue, so that's kind of cool. Anyway, so just let that drain. Gonna put some smooth shift in it, and then I don't have much 8890 left, not enough to do the whole diff, so I'll put whatever's left of that in there, and then it's going to get topped up with 140, which is really heavy, so should be pretty quiet. Should be good for towing. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. A little concoction of oils. Hopefully it all goes well. Righto guys, got the wheels and everything back on, everything done. What an absolute pain in the ass. The bleed nipple on this caliper was rooted. I actually had to swap it out for one of the ones off the other caliper. Pain in the ass. Anyway, it's done, it's full of fluid. Diff's pretty much done. Diff swap is done for this car. Still have to obviously put the other one back in the other car, which I'll do tomorrow. I'm not looking forward to that even one little bit. So at the moment, just doing a service on the big girl. It's pretty overdue for a service, although they do recommend, the manufacturer recommendation for these things is 15,000 Ks, which is what it is. I personally would like to do it every 10,000, but wouldn't normally run it that long. So got my HPR 10W40, 50, went for the bit heavier oil this time because it's getting on that engine, 330,000 Ks now, so, and a new filter. Righto, so it's all done as far as diff and service goes, so I might just take it for a strap up the road and make sure that diff isn't noisy, which it better not be. So guys, went for a trip down the road. There is a little bit of pinion whine, but it is like a regular amount of pinion whine that you would expect from a Falcon Borgwarner 78, not as much as what they used to be. So also it doesn't do that real grindy thing on D-cell when it's unloaded. So hopefully it is still better off for it. I hope so. At the end of the day, from this point, I'm pretty much going to drive the thing into the ground. Still owes me hardly anything. It's still a really good vehicle for what it is. But yeah, that was a lot of work. I'm very sore, and I've still got to put the diff back in the white one in the morning. I'm definitely going to be feeling this, but hopefully that sorts me. That should be me for another 10,000 Ks until it needs servicing again. And oh, actually, no, tomorrow I've got to change the window reg, so I've got a working driver's window again. So I've got to do that tomorrow as well. Apart from that, the thing just needs a wash and a clean out because it is filthy inside. Because I haven't cleaned it out in a long time, and I just about live out of it. So I'm going to do that tomorrow. And try and get my trailer ready to tow. I just got to adjust the brakes on my trailer, and then race car, tow car, and trailer are going to be ready to go, which is going to be good considering I go back to work, and so I should be set after that. But anyway, yeah, tomorrow is Saturday the 3rd or 4th of August, 3rd of August. I don't know, I can't remember. But anyway, we're getting there. I wanted to be ready to go at the end of July, and not only is the race car nearly ready to go, the tow car and the trailer are just about ready as well, and we're only right at the start of August, so pretty good effort. I'm definitely feeling it. I'm hurting, but yeah, I'm going to persevere and get this done, and hopefully still have enough time to tidy up this damn shed before I have to go to work. Holy, I'm feeling sore this morning. I'm absolutely dreading having to do this, knowing that I've got to do exactly what I did yesterday, but I've got to do it on the ground. This just sucks. I'm not looking forward to this even a tiny bit. I don't want to do it at all. Anyway, it's got to get done. So I better just do it. I'm going to be a very sore boy after this though. Righto guys, so actually very surprised and very pleasantly surprised at how easy and quickly that all went together, and how relatively pain-free that all was. I was not expecting that. So that's a nice little surprise. That's like the hardest bit of my day done, which is, you know, nice. So now I'm looking at actually swapping out the window regulator so that I finally can get rid of my temporary wood that holds my window up in the daily. So try and actually put a working window reg in it. The other thing is this door card is quite a bit nicer than mine, and the mirror switch actually still works. So I'm going to try my best to actually get this door card apart very carefully. I'm just going to take this whole door card if I can. But other BA owners will probably know this as well. Where the two bolts are for the bottom of the window reg are in a really shitty position on the door where it seems like water and that likes to sit. One thing I found with this car, actually working underneath it, getting that diff out, is that it's actually quite a bit rusty. So it must have spent a fair bit of time sort of coast side, I'm assuming. So given that, I'm going to pull this door card off, have a look at those two bolts. If they're really rusty, like they are in some cases, I'm just not going to bother. It's not worth, I think, the headache of just trying to get the reg out. I've gone this far with my window the way it is, and I think I'll just avoid the pain if it looks like it's going to be that painful. But anyway, I'll get this door cut off and have a look, because it would be nice to have a working window again. Let's be real. Righto, so this is what I was talking about. These things like to get real rusty. These ones look alright enough to have a go at, so we'll give it a go. No harm trying. So successfully got it all apart and got the reg out. Everything's sort of happy days. So just gonna pull mine out now and pull out the old wood window regulator and install this bad boy and have a completely working door card again, which will be really cool. Be able to actually go to the drive-through and order coffee and stuff now. Woo! Look at that. Isn't that some trusty work? Yeah, that's pretty cool. It's been like that for quite a while now. Gonna be cool to have a working window again. Rest in peace, my trusty bits of wood, but check it out. How good's that? Be rolling with my window down fat arming in no time. Alright, look at that. Complete new and much tidier door card. Working driver's window. And working power mirrors. And the old daily's back to its former glory of actually everything works again. Which is, you know, nice. So finally this other Falcon purchase has served its purpose after all this time. So that's pretty cool. I didn't even bother bleeding up the brakes again, and I'm not going to put that door card all back together. Just going to chuck the window back in, use my wood to hold it up. Same way I had it in this one. And I'll leave that speaker out because Rex actually needs one for the XR6 Turbo. He needs a front speaker and they're a weird size. So I'll leave that out for him. I haven't actually checked if it works, but he can check it. Anyway, I'll just jimmy this back together and it can go back down to its little hole. And then I've just got to wash and clean out my Silver Beast, and we're just about ready to rumble. So it's getting close. This day has been far less painful than I expected it to be so far, which has been good. I'm happy. Righto, so I've jerry rigged this up the same way this silver one was, and now it's time to move it back down to its hole, get it out of here. I'm done with it now. Yew! So yeah, super stoked with how relatively pain-free today has been. Been a little bit of swearing going on behind the scenes, but not as bad as I thought it would be. So it's worked out to be a pretty good day getting this thing sorted. Righto, so I've given the Falc a bit of a vacuum up and a clean out inside, a bit of a tidy up. But as everyone knows, most important part of the daily service, anyone especially who owns Falcons or Commodores will know, the pièce de résistance is a fresh black ice air freshener. Complete the full treatment. But honestly, this thing really does cop a pretty stiff end of my neglect. So considering what this car owes me and what it does, it doesn't do too bad. I'm pretty happy with it still. And now it's got a new lease on life. New diff, fresh service, clean. I've still got to clean the outside. I'm not going to go as far as actually putting any effort into scrubbing it, but I will just give it a fucking gurney down with some truck wash. But yeah, it's it's all good. So pretty much just about got this thing ready to go. Just got to get my trailer ready to go, and there's just a few things I want to do to the Skyline just before it's ready as well. I want to dump all the water out and actually put coolant in it now. So a few little things like that. But yeah, we're nearly ready on Saturday afternoon. So then tomorrow I have off, and Monday I go back to work. So it's weird to put this into context. Like this past 2 weeks has been flat out. I've had like 2 days off. I've just been working, doing big days, getting all this shit ready, so that I can go back to work on Monday to do actual work, so that on Thursday after work I can come and get my car on Thursday night, tow my car down to work on Friday, so that I can then go drifting on Friday night, so that I can then bring my car back to then unload, turn around and go back to work on Saturday. So this is what I was saying in the last 80 series video about how car people are just sort of weird like this. Yeah boy, fresh sense. Nice. Look at that damn car out there, man. Look at that damn car. Ooh. The other thing about all that is very frustrating is knowing that I've done all this work in this past couple of weeks just to take the car down for a shakedown. So potentially I may not even get more than a couple of laps for all this work. I may have issues with the car. So like it's a lot of work to put in to go down to do a shakedown run in a car that's not even proven. So yeah, a lot of effort, a lot of work. But anyway, of course all this stuff, it had to get done eventually. I've just been putting it off because I've been busy doing other shit, but it all is stuff that had to eventually get done. This poor old Falcon's been neglected for a long time, and it really needed all this a lot. So I'm glad it's done now, but it's just been a fucking massive couple of weeks. There we go guys, Falcon is clean-ish. Cleaner than it was before. And probably clean as it gets for quite a while. It's good for another 6 months of just being completely neglected now. Just put fuel in it and drive it. The only other thing I need to do really is put new wiper blades in it. But she's ready for daily and tow duties now. So, doing pretty well. Pretty well. Righto guys, last little thing to get the 31 ready. Just mounted my fire extinguisher in there. So just chucked it down there on the floor in the trans tunnel. So it just mounts to the trans tunnel there. So yeah, always a very good idea to have a fire extinguisher on board. I've actually proven that at short track. I had my car catch on fire one time. The oil drain for my turbo oil return caught on fire. So it's yeah, definitely, I always like to keep a fire extinguisher in the track car. That's just my thing. Most people do. Yeah, definitely a good idea. But anyway, that's more or less the end of the video now, I suppose. As you can see here, doing a big old cleanup. Now starts all the fun where I've got to actually sort all the stuff out, put it all away now that the build is finished. Yeah, no reason for it to be up here anymore. I need to clean this shit out and get it back to working spec, I suppose, nice and tidy. But anyway, all that's left for me to do now is load up the trailer, put my car on the trailer, load up all my stuff, my tools, my jack, my stands, my helmet, and my spare tyres and wheels. And so tomorrow when I head back to the coast, I've got a mate that's going to let me drop my trailer and car at his house for like the week. That way it just saves me having to come all the way out here to get the car on Thursday night. which just saves me a bit of time. So I'll be taking it down, leaving it there for the week, and then on Thursday night after work, I'll grab it, take it to work with me on Friday, go hit the track on Friday night. Hopefully everything goes well. Go through a couple of sets of tyres, 2 sets of tyres. And yeah, after that, shakedown. Obviously we'll probably have some teething issues to sort out, and we'll drop out, after that, we'll drop out the running in oil. After that, I'll drop out the water. I've decided not to drop it just yet. I'll leave that bars leak in it for 1 round. Leave it just full of water for this night. So after that, it'll be, yeah, drop the oil, put actual non-running in oil in it, drop the water, put coolant in it. And hopefully after that, we're pretty right. So then there's another Friday night in August I want to get to, and there is a morning session in August that I would like to get to if I can as well, but that just depends on work. But anyway, it's been a massive couple of weeks, it's been a massive couple of days, but Falcon's ready, trailer's ready, car's ready, so I've done well, and I'm not broke, I'm just sore. But I've done pretty well, so I'm pretty happy with where everything's at. I'm stoked that I get to drive this week, finally. I'm finally going to drive, so that's going to be awesome. So thanks for watching, guys, as always, and stay tuned for driving footage, I suppose, because it'll be coming at you pretty soon. So cheers, guys, catch you later.